Hello everyone, welcome to Retrothon 2021. My name is Retroverse_SR for speedrun. I'm going to be running Super Mario Land today. There's not a whole lot to talk about before the run, so we'll go ahead and get started. And 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so Mario Land came out along with Tetris as launch titles for the Game Boy, so many of you out there might have played it in the past. Currently I'm playing this on the Super Game Boy 2 on a Super Famicom, so we're getting original hardware. But Mario Land is notorious for being pretty difficult, I would say, for a Mario game. The controls are a bit wonky, hitboxes are weird. And yeah, some cool things about it though is that you have unique worlds. You have Daisy being introduced. It also has really good music. You've probably heard some of the music before somewhere else being played, you know, as like a lobby music or something. But the end credits are definitely some of the best Game Boy tunes, if I say so. Might be a little biased, but anyway, we're racing through levels 1 and 2. Not a whole lot to talk about there. We're going. The first world in this is pretty easy. It starts to really ramp up in World 2 and then into World 3. I would honestly say World 3 is probably the hardest, at least in my opinion. 3 and 4 kind of. I think it just depends on who's playing as to whether or not they consider it harder. But 3, in my opinion, is hardest, and then would probably be 4 and then 2. Anyway, so we're approaching the first boss here, and I'm going to be very careful to jump over the boss and land on the switch, hopefully without hitting the door in front of the boss. What that does is, since I'm running and I jump, if I don't stop by hitting the door when I hit the switch, you'll see Mario here actually run to Daisy instead of walking. So it saves us a little bit of time from having to wait for Mario to actually reach Daisy for it to start saying, "Thank you, Mario. Oh, Daisy." So just a minor speedrun tech. There's also another one here with a little bug. Sometimes he'll take 3 jumps, which we got pretty lucky, and sometimes he'll take 4. And it saves us time to get 3. The bonuses are another large time save or time loss in this category, in Mario Land. So as you can see there, you can get X1, X2, X3, and a fire flower. Oops. So each of the X1, 2, 3, 4 are obviously lives, but in the fire flower is a... I'm gonna throw off my timing here. Give me just a second here to get realigned. Okay. So the fire flower gives you a fire flower naturally. So there's also a ladder that appeared, and we actually got a ladder X2 there as our reward. So the ladders are a way to like make it fun, I guess, and more random. The unfortunate thing about the ladders in the speedrun is that they actually cost you more time. Ideally, you would get an X1 because that would be the quickest, reward. Obviously, well, I keep saying obviously, and I don't think it is. That's why I'm explaining it. Sorry, just nervous. When you want the fastest reward in your PB attempts, which would be an X1, but in a marathon, we're a little less concerned about getting the PB and a little more concerned about making sure we can finish the run. So to get an X2 there isn't the end of the world. Fortunately, Mario has lead boots in this game, so we fall very quickly. We'll take it safe here. Gonna make our way through 2-2. Little hiccup, but we're done. So, yeah, so you would like to get an X1 as your fastest reward. However, if you are Big Mario when you complete the stage and you get a Fire Flower reward, it's actually faster because the animation, normally when you get the Fire Flower, it does like the power-up animation and it gets bigger. Well, if you're already big and you get the Fire Flower, it just makes a very quick sound effect and you're out. That's it. You're done. So, ideally in the first one you're getting the next one, and then at the end of this stage, theoretically you would have Big Mario if you completed it the way the speedrun intends, and you would get a Fire Flower, and it would be the fastest reward. Now, again, not super focused on it in this run in particular with the marathon. We get ladder X3 every single time. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, you know, we're trying to get the quickest reward in a normal PB attempt or what have you. But we are playing on the version 1.0 of this cartridge, and there's actually something special about it. There was a bug that was not taken out of the game, and what will happen is on these auto-scroller levels, which this is the first of two, levels 2, 3, and 4, 3 are auto-scrollers here. We're Submarine Mario in this one, and we're Plain Mario in 4, 3. As you're being pushed off the screen, if you hold the back button, you will actually screen wrap. You won't die. As long as, if you're being pushed off the screen, you would normally, you know, get squished. Well, if you hold back, like I just did, messed up the fast kill. It's all right. It got to show off the screen wrap glitch. So if you hold back, you'll screen wrap instead of dying. That was patched out later. That was patched out on the 1.0, which there's, or 1.1, which I think it goes up to like 1.7, but they're all identical. From 1.1 to 1.7, it's all the same. So if you can do the screen wrap glitch, you have a 1.0 cartridge, meaning you have like a launch, you know, version of the game. And if you can't, it just means you have a 1.1. Hey, we're excited to see that X3. But we're now on to World 3, where we're going to see, hopefully, some spike skips, and I'll cover that a little later. For now, there's going to be some hectic jumping here, and we're going to play it safe and just land on the Koopa and stop. That Koopa is notorious when you're on really good paces. You can make the jump, and you land on him, and he ends up plunging you into the pit next to him, so it's really unfortunate. But we're on our way over. We have Big Mario. We've now entered the section where we're going to try our first spike skip. And you can see this bullet bill coming out right now. And I'm going to jump now, bounce off, and we just skip the entire spike bit. And I'm going to try again. Not quite. Okay, so what you ideally do is you can jump and land on that rock, and then make another jump off of the rock to land on the pillar I was just on. And then through this whole section, instead of having to ride the rock of shame, you just iframe through. You just jump right in and then use your iframes to run all the way across. That wasn't terrible, but you know, in a perfect run, I guess that's the kind of thing you would see. I can honestly say when I was learning this game, that was the hardest thing for me. Definitely, like it's a huge time save too. Doing it over not doing it is a huge time save. Waiting for the rock to spawn and bounce around and stuff, as opposed to just jumping across. But yeah, it looks awesome and it's cool. At least we got the first one. We're actually going to do a mini spike skip here and just jump across these. Clean jump, yeah. So we're out of 3-2. This is probably one of the more challenging stages when you're playing casually. There's a lot of creepy crawlies, a lot of things going on, moving around. It's really easy to get hit by something. Thankfully, we had a really good 3-2. So now we're on to 3-3, where we're going to see the platform skips. So very tight jumps. That's actually, it's jumping on that pipe. That's the hard part, you know? I will play it safe here. I thought I was on the other side of the platform. I thought when you made it that far, you'd spawn over on the right, but otherwise I would have went for the platform skips again. However, there's another set here. There's the second set of platforms. There's actually a Kaizo block here, and I'm going to show you because I think it's funny. Yep, that'll kill your run too. If you're accidentally too far to the right and you take your jump, you'll bounce and just fall into the pit. Because why not? Alright, we're going to do a platform skip there. It wasn't too clean, but it saves you from having to go through the little maze section. And now we are almost at the third boss here. And again, off the boulder, we want to try to make a really small jump so that we land on that platform, like to our left. And then as we're running, we fall down onto the switch, because we get to do the same thing we did in the first world, where we maintain our run speed so that Mario will run to Daisy, as opposed to if I jump too high and kind of arc over and hit the door and then fall onto the switch, I won't have the run speed. He'll just walk to Daisy. It's not a huge thing, but it's just one of those, kind of fun speedrun tech things to talk about. We got 3 jumps there off the bug too, so that's pretty good. What are we getting? Fire Flower. Okay, so Fire Flower actually is an added benefit during this fourth world. Right here at the beginning, there are 2 piranha plants, and by having Fire Flower, we can just blast through them. There is a mushroom over there that we grab because we're going to want it later, but the fire flower definitely saves you some seconds from not having to wait for the piranha plants to go back down. There we go, clean star grab, nice, nice. We're on our way through. We're going to iframe through this. Or not iframe, we're going to star through this. And we're going to jump, make some jumps. There's a lot going on the screen right here, so it actually can cause the game can lag pretty heavily right through there. Just same with right here, there's just a lot of enemies on the screen. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to carry Fire Flower with us through to the next stage where we really want it, but you know, we made it through clean. It's fine. There's a mushroom I'm going to grab on the next stage, and I'll show you why we want the mushroom, and I'll kind of explain why the fire flower is a little better, but it's really hard. You have to not only get the fire flower as your bonus, which we did, but through this section we're going to iframe through it, and then we're going to come down here. Unfortunately, our timing's a little off. Yeah, it's a little off. Because I got caught up on that pillar back there, I'll kind of cover it again. So here, we would normally iframe through here, and then we want to wait here. It's very particular, that timing there, because you need to have so many, you need to have the bullet bill cannon and all that on the screen to be able to get the timing to where you won't get hit by the Goomba like we did the first time. That's unfortunate. I unfortunately jumped a little too high there. I'll grab the mushroom just to be safe. These two jumps are actually really tight. If you jump too high, you'll bonk off the ceiling, and when you bonk off the ceiling, you don't quite land where you want to for the tricks. So, back to what I was saying, I suppose. With the mushroom, where we iframe through the first section, and then use Mini Mario to kind of spawn in early some enemies to be able to make it through quickly. If you have the fire flower during that section, you can actually just spam. It's not spamming. It's very tightly timed fireballs, which they're not fireballs technically in this, they're power balls, to be able to hit the enemies and make it through without having to stop at all. You just blast the enemies as you reach them, and you just speed right through it. Didn't happen, it's fine. There's actually, right there at the end, when I made the jump and bonked into the wall and ended up falling off the platform, there's actually a similar jump in level 2-1, where instead of having to go up and over like I did, you can jump under the little square platform and make it where you don't have to slow down. That jump is referred to the impossible jump because it's an extremely tight jump. Now, the jumps off of the moving platforms back there are almost as tight, but not quite, because there is a way you can jump off of them too high and you end up bonking and then you land where you wanted to, but it's not exact. I guess the point is it's not exact. You don't have to get the perfect jump. Where to get to the impossible jump, you have to get the perfect jump, and it's extremely difficult. And if you're looking for what the heck I'm talking about, it's on 2-1 at the very end. It's the very last jump that's made in 2-1. So if you want to watch a world record run by Adam Ferrari or the previous world record holder 8, they make the jump, and it looks very cool, but it's also extremely difficult. If you're relying on that to get your PB or something because your run's so good, it's definitely a heavy reset point because it's just a tough jump. So here we go. We're on our way to the final boss. I'm about to be smushed. Haha! Or not. I'm going to be careful to line myself up here. It's just a couple more spinny things we have to make it through. And then up here, there's actually a block. This is kind of a tip. Block right here. There's a chance you can get hit by the little fists up ahead if you're not careful. So if you just line yourself up with that block and hold backwards and screen wrap, you're actually already lined up with the cloud. So you can just fire away, take him out. You want to take out the flower before the cloud before it stops moving. And here we are on Katanga, and time. It's 4:14, I believe. So yeah. Yeah, so that was Super Mario Land, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Talked a lot through it, so I don't know how quickly we have to get off, but that's Mario Land. Shoutouts to Darby and Oh Dear. You guys are great. Inspired me to play this game. Oh Dear helped me out a lot with it as well. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking so that you guys can hear this banger. So Let's get some Sour Bliss. Let's get some Cat Jam. Here we go.